What's up, you beautiful freedom lover? Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at CNN's tactics of bashing their political rivals. In my opinion, two of the most credible conservatives, actually credible of all politicians, Ron DeSantis and Kari Lake. You know what we do on this channel. We watch videos and news together as I call out the lies and corruption of tyrants, the absurdities of woke culture, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. CNN is basically the prime tyrannical arm of the leftists, not liberals, the leftists. And I think there's a reason why CNN's ratings are just, they're worth dog piss. A lot of my videos get way better ratings than CNN's, and they have their billion-dollar corporation. Why I thought this particular video was such a great example of their tactics, because you have Ron DeSantis, who is clearly out for the greater good of the people. Therefore, he's a great threat to those who are not out for the greater good of the people, but rather maybe out for their own greed around power, control, money. And then Kari Lake, she recently won the GOP nomination for governor in Arizona, which means she's the Republican nomination for governor in this year's November elections. I wholeheartedly endorse Kari Lake. I got to speak at two of her campaign rallies online. She has my 100% support. And I don't know Ron DeSantis personally. I've had a chance to talk with Kari Lake, so I'll speak specifically of her. There is no one who is more worthy of elected office than Kari Lake. But CNN says, well, there's no one more worthy of bashing than Kari Lake and Ron DeSantis. So I thought you and I would take a look at what their bashing tactics are, because it's just sleazy. In my opinion, how CNN, or name the arm of corruption, whoever's invested in propagating the narrative, how they operate, it's not with intelligence. It's just with smearing language, and when people aren't standing in their sovereignty, using their own critical thinking, it can easily manipulate them. I don't think you or I are those people, but those people are those people. So let's take a look-ski.
He's got BDE. Anybody know what that means? I call it Big DeSantis energy. He's got the same kind of BDE that President Trump has.
Well, if you don't know what BD actually stands for, feel free to Google it. That was Trump-backed Arizona candidate for Governor Kari Lake.
By the way, already Trump-backed Arizona governor candidate, it's like they're trying to imply Trump-backed, it's basically just scum of the earth backed. It's no. If we think for ourselves, not so much. But that's how they're trying to pass it off. It's whoever this guy is, I see you.
Energizing MAGA Republicans in their first big rally since the FBI search on former President Trump's Florida home.
That's another interesting spin. Since the FBI's search on Trump's home, no, it was not a search. It was a raid. It was, by almost all standards, unlawful, unprecedented, unwarranted, even though they had the warrant signed by the judge who represented Epstein. That's a credible human, but Trump's not.
She and headliner Florida Governor Ron DeSantis are aiming to rebrand the Grand Old Party. CNN's Kyung La talks with Republicans in Arizona now to find out if the Trump wing's rambunctious language will sway or alienate voters.
Again, if the Trump wings rambunctious, that kind of implication, Trump is bad. It really disrespects people's thinking. If you genuinely think Trump is bad, cool. But just this implication, we're using his name in an ominous tone, therefore you should think he's bad. My opinion is complete disrespect of human intelligence, but it's one of their tactics used relentlessly.
East meets West in a show of a united Republican front. The headliner of this Arizona rally, Florida governor and possible 2024 hopeful Ron DeSantis.
From the beaches of Florida to the deserts of Arizona, November 8th, 2022 is going to be the day that America fights back.
I love Ron DeSantis. Period.
To energize this Phoenix crowd, DeSantis turned his political fire to the news in his state. The FBI search of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate.
No
They're
search.
enforcing the law
Raid.
based on who they like and who they don't like. That is not a republic. Well, it may be. It's a banana republic when that happens.
Echoed by Republican nominee for Arizona Governor Kari Lake, heavy on grievance, light on facts.
Heavy on grievance, light on facts, says CNN, who's like they don't know how to spell the word fact. It's just weird how we live in an age where the establishment tells us we have to be protected from misinformation. It's misinformation to say she's heavy on grievance and light on facts. She acknowledges there's a huge border problem, there's a homeless problem, there's a tyrannical problem, there's election problem. She is very heavy on facts, in fact.
And then these people sent politically motivated federal agents to President Donald Trump's home and raided it. How dare they?
This is the first large political rally since the Mar-a-Lago search.
How much does that affect?
Just notice the relentless language, the Mar-a-Lago search. No one else is calling it that. It's a raid. Say it, CNN. It was a raid. They're like, no, we can't. George Soros's control over it. He's at search.
Republicans who are going to be voting this year in the midterms.
Well, I hope it's a lot. I hope it ignites people, gets them out there, and they want to help support the Republican ticket.
After what happened on Monday, we have to show our support for the president, the real president anyway.
Here in Arizona, where Trump's 2020 election lie still thrives in a big
His lie still thrives. Just don't look at the evidence.
swath of the GOP, his endorsed candidates swept in the state's primary.
His endorsed candidates are as bad as we say he is.
Kari Lake defeated a Republican backed by former Vice President Mike Pence and the establishment.
The Republican she defeated, that's backed by Mike Pence and the establishment, which, by the way, is like the implication is the opponent she defeated that's backed by the establishment. It's like that's implying the fact that the establishment backs her. That's a good thing, not for people who know how to think and see that the establishment is the problem. That's what's sweating out the tyranny left and right. Let's hear more, CNN.
The Republican Party isn't your great-great-grandfather's party anymore.
U.S. Senate candidate Blake Masters is also Trump endorsed.
It will be Arizona first and America first all the way.
The proof is in the primary, say voters in this crowd, that the more centrist Arizona Republican Party of John McCain is gone.
From what I understand, nobody likes John McCain. And it's like they're looking at like the one good Republican that ever lived was John McCain. Where most real Republicans would say, no, like he was not not a real Republican.
We feel McCain is a total traitor. I believe he was a rhino.
In this theater, party unity and its success in November is under the banner of Trump.
Trump. Just that. How'd you say that again? Trump.
Party unity and its success in November is under the banner of Trump.
Yeah, so quick, simple, but we see some of their relentlessly used, most frequently used tactics of trying to smear good people. Now, on the political scene, there's some people I hold in high regard, but honestly, nobody that I hold in higher regard than Ron DeSantis and Kari Lake. So why is CNN smearing them with their shallow, shameless tactics? Because they're people who are based on truth and principles and a service mentality. Anybody like that? Some would argue that Trump was like that. I think there's some things I don't agree with about him, but for the most part, I do believe he had a service mentality out for the greater good. So of course, those are the people that threaten the establishment the most. CNN is, there's no media that's more establishment based than CNN. Which, by the way, see, there's a video of Kari Lake. Oh, I'll show it right now. There's this video of Kari Lake absolutely owning a CNN reporter from earlier this summer.
Hi, Kari. Hi.
Nice to see you. Count off and CNN.
You don't have a mask on anymore. What's going
we're
on?
outside. Do you have a minute to
well,
chat?
we're 6 feet apart.
Do you have a minute to chat?
I'll do an interview.
Okay.
As long as it airs on CNN Plus.
Oh.
Does that still exist? I didn't think so, because the people don't like what you guys are peddling, which is propaganda. Thank you.
One of the many reasons why I love Kari Lake. Calls it like it is. Oh, hi, CNN. I'll do an interview with you as long as it's on CNN Plus. Oh, that doesn't exist after 3 weeks? Okay, well, that's because people don't like you because you're propaganda. I love it. So as more and more people in the spotlight and politics are service-oriented, like Kari Lake and Ron DeSantis, we can expect more and more smearing of them. But I think for people, hopefully like you and I, who know how to think for ourselves, use our own critical thinking, we're not persuaded by that. We're hopefully amused by that and motivated by it to stand for truth. And hopefully that's what you and I get to do on this channel, be a little more motivated each and every day to unapologetically stand for freedom and truth. CNN, I wouldn't even let you clean out my toilets because my toilets deserve better than you. I clean them myself. So with that said, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Before you go, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, my favorite underwear on the planet, Sheath Underwear. Are you a man with balls? I think there's two types of people in this world. Men with balls and men without balls. Men with balls act accordingly by loving America, they're protectors and providers, and they only wear underwear that's made for men with balls. Sheath. Anything else is women's underwear. The founders of Sheath are obsessed with men's junk for some reason, but that's what's led them to uniquely craft Sheath to support men and their balls while looking and feeling good. Research done by the National Institute of Health and Underwear Safety shows that if you wear tighty whities, you're not only not a man, you might as well have a brown streak running down your underpants, because you probably already do. But there's hope. Because if you're a man with balls, you can now treat yourself accordingly by only wearing the best underwear on the planet. Sheath. Sheath are underwear made for real men with actual balls. How do we know this? Because Sheath is obsessed with men's balls to a suspicious degree, it's led to an innovatively designed pouch system with separate compartments for both your hot dog and meatballs that gives you maximum comfort and support while you're doing man stuff. More than that, Sheath is made from a fabric blend of modal and spandex that provides form-fitting comfort like no other. Here's my butt, and as you can see, the unique blend is cool to the touch and provides absorption. And that means no other underwear provides built-in protection against sweat and self-urination, quite like Sheath. I've been wearing Sheath for over 2 years now. During this time, my wife has gone from thinking I should move to Portland to open an artisan arts and crafts store to now respecting me for the man that I am. Not to mention my comfort and confidence are now dangerously high. If you're a man with balls, then treat yourself to the best underwear on the planet by going to sheathunderwear.com/awaken. I think you'll like them. Manspin! And use a discount code AWAKEN for 20% off. Because real men don't wear just any underwear. They also don't pay full price. At least not when there's a discount code available. Enjoy.